How to fix the villains in Battlefront 2. If you watched yesterday's video, I talked about how to fix the heroes. I don't think the heroes are as good as the villains in this game, but how do we balance it out? How do we fix the villains as well to make both sides as equal as possible? Today I'm going to be going through each villain individually and sharing my thoughts on how they could be changed. Let me know your opinions as well in the comments section as always. Now starting off with Darth Maul, ever since his saber throw was fixed a few weeks ago, I think he's fine now. He's my favourite villain once again. I wouldn't touch Maul at all. I think he's the most balanced hero slash villain in the entire game, to be honest. Darth Vader on the other hand, understandably, is very overpowered in this game, but a little too overpowered in this game as well. His lightsaber throw does do a lot of damage, however I think it adds to the power of Vader and I don't want to over nerf him here, so I would say it's fine. His focus rage gives 200 health when activated, and if you have the right star cards he can receive less damage when it's activated as well, so I would drop this from 200 to 150 additional health when the focus rage is activated. His choke, I would say, is fine. Yes, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but in comparison to his saber throw, if you had them both doing so much damage, then he would just become even more overpowered. His health up next is a very hard one to manage because if you nerf it too much, then Vader just isn't going to seem like Vader, if you get what I mean. His current health is 800, and with the right star card you can get it up to 950 in total. With Focus Rage in its current state adding on 200 extra health as well, this can get Vader up to, at points in a game, 1150 total health. I would say his health should be 750, you're probably thinking that's pretty low, but with the additional 150 health that one of his star cards gives him, which pretty much everyone has right now, that would get him up to 900, so most people would be using Vader with 900 health. Plus the nerfed 150 health that I want to give him for Focus Rage, this would get him up to 1050 health, not the usual 1150 health. So overall we're taking 50 base health off Vader and 50 Focus Rage health off Vader, so you're getting rid of 100 of his possible max health. That was probably very confusing, I'm really sorry, but that was the simplest way I could explain it. Let's move on to the Emperor, I think. With his Chain Lightning, he has a star card that allows him to regain health every time he hits an enemy with the Chain Lightning, so the more enemies he hits, the more health he gains back. People go on about these big nerfs the Emperor should have, and I think that's a bit too much. It's actually very simple what could be done here. Instead of him regaining health every time he uses Chain Lightning, he can just regain health every time he kills an enemy like a few of the other heroes. So just hitting enemies with Chain Lightning won't get you any health back. If you kill enemies with it, and if you kill enemies with your lightning in general, you will get health back. I think his Dark Aura is absolutely fine, and his Electrocute, a bit like Yoda's Unleash ability that I discussed in my last video, I just find Electrocute very glitchy, it doesn't work most of the time. I understand certain heroes can block it, that's not my problem here, but sometimes I'll use it on a blaster hero for example and it doesn't work, they manage to escape the Electrocute. I would say the Emperor's health is fine, and I know this next point here might be seen as a bit controversial because of how good people say the Emperor is. However, I think he should be given a damage buff against heroes, as in Heroes vs Villains, he is just the assist king. A lot of you tell me how useless you feel the Emperor is in HVV, and I agree with you completely on that. I know some people can absolutely dominate with the Emperor in HVV, but I just think he needs a bit of a damage buff against heroes in that mode, because I just get assist after assist after assist with him. Boba Fett is up next. His Concussion Rocket and For the Hunt I think are fine. I know people say there are a few glitches with For the Hunt, but as long as they're fixed then it's a good ability. His Rocket Barrage I would say needs a buff, like how it was before his second nerf. Obviously Boba Fett has been nerfed 2 times. First one was deserved, the second one just wasn't needed, to be honest. So put his Rocket Barrage back to how it was before his second damage nerf, and then his health I would say is fine once again. His jetpack, however, I would go back to the original state with that. Personally, I just can't get used to this really fast Boba Fett. I liked it at first, but I prefer it when he flies up and not across really fast. Bossk and Iden I would say are fine. I'm really glad they fixed Iden because she just wasn't worth using most of the time, but now I use her a lot more than I did previously. Kylo Ren on this game I feel like is a bit of a mess, to be honest. With his pull, this doesn't matter too much, but I would say for the pull ability, maybe it could do a bit of damage without having to use a specific star card that allows it to do damage. That one doesn't matter too much, I just thought I'd add it on here because I wouldn't mind that ability doing some damage. There is a star card that you can use, but I feel like that should just add on to the damage and not allow him to do it in the first place. His frenzy is very, very glitchy. Sometimes his frenzy just doesn't work for me, and when it doesn't do enough damage. I think a damage buff is needed, especially once this ability is properly fixed. Freeze, I actually like his freeze ability, one of the best in the game, has one of the best animations in the game as well. His health is absolutely fine as well, and his primary attacks are quite weak. I should say they would do the same amount as Rey, for example. It seems about right that Rey and Kylo Ren should do the same amount of damage with their saber strikes. It just doesn't